the 1960 movie The Fugitive Kind, based on a play by Mr. Tennessee Williams, adapted for cinema by Williams and Mead Roberts. It's directed by Sidney Lumet and produced by Martin Jarreau. And the cast, a very impressive one, I might add. Marlon Brando in the lead role plays Val Xavier. Anna Magnani plays Lady Torrance. Joanna Woodward plays Carol Couturier. Maureen Stapleton is V. Talbot. Jabe Torrance is played excellently by Vic DeJory, and the Sheriff Talbot is played by R.G. Armstrong. There are a few other. What have we got then here? Well, it's set in a small backwater town in Louisiana. It's a tale really of moral corruption and degeneration in that town. The movie starts with Brando having been arrested, and he is invited to leave the town, described very much as a vagrant guitar singer. Otherwise he will spend a considerable amount of time in jail. He's been arrested for drunk and disorderly. So having no choice, he gets his guitar and off he goes. He then arrives in the town where the movie is shown, and he initially comes across Woodward, Carol Couture, and she is a real bundle of energy. She's very volatile, very forward, promiscuous, and rather intolerant of gossip. And she and Val end up in a bar quickly. Carol wants to show Val the scene in the town, and Val has to rescue her as she goes on a spout of drinking and talkative behaviour with all the locals, attempting to wind them all up, as they are to her, all potential mindless, stupid punters. And she gives as good as she gets. However, Xavier's intervention certainly avoids a possible violent confrontation. So basically we have a very acute perception of Couture as a character who is certainly pushing the boat out in this largely right-wing sort of town. Now Val is desperate for a job, and he ends up entering a store and wants to approach the owner to discuss the possibility of getting work. The owner, Vic DeJoy, plays Jab Torrance, is currently in a hospital and is about to return. So he discusses his needs with the wife, Lady Torrance, played by Anna Magnani. This initial scene where Val gives forth his CV is a very interesting and poignant piece of cinema, and I enjoyed it. Initially, Lady is very unwilling to take him on, but his persuasive way opens up possibilities for her, some of which aren't really to do with offering him employment. She is drawn in by his appeal, in as much that he's not trying to stoke up his brand, his image, and he appears to have a very solid personality which is unremarkable but genuine. So eventually he gets the offer of employment, and so he then begins work in the store. It's a general sort of goods store. They sell lots of odds and ends, clothes, etc. And from there, the relationship between Val and Lady slowly develops from sort of wariness to a point where Anna, who is a desperately fragile and lonely character, living with a vulgar, narcissistic, violent husband, is desperate to get some sort of feeling into her life. Equally, Val is, as I say, a bit of a loner. He's also lonely, but he is hesitant. The age difference is a significant 20 years plus, and he doesn't want to upset the apple cart because he had to leave the last town, and he doesn't want to leave this one by being seen as a possible romantic interest for Lady. So this is how the movie develops. The husband returns home. We see further glimpses of Woodward's character. Val rescues her from another incident where she ends up with a bloody nose. She clearly is attracted to Val, but he retains a sort of distance, knowing that she is a very unpredictable type, and possibly a can of worms if he was to show any sexual interest. However, the other relationship starts to blossom, and at that point information from the husband is shared with the sheriff in the town, and they start to lean on Val and suggest that he should leave. I found Brando's performance once again extremely interesting, and he at times reminded me of his performance as Kurtz in Apocalypse Now, by the way he delivers his lines with deliberation, and he's always consciously sort of considering how he communicates in such a way that he doesn't give too much of himself away, and it's one of the highlights throughout the movie. The scenes with Lady are also extremely emotionally gripping, particularly when Val tells her that he is going to leave, and she emotionally sort of breaks down and displays her sensitivity to the point that Val relents, and they indulge in a night of passion. They then instigate changes in the store to increase income, but the husband, who is slowly dying, is not at all at ease, and we move towards a traumatic and tragic finale. And I would impress upon you that you should get round to watching this movie. Lumit's direction, once again, superb. The man can't do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, that's the review for The Fugitive Kind, released in early 1960, directed by Sidney Lumet.